Son of Christ.
There you go. You good? You too up. What punk we're doing? You want to tell us to rise that turn to face?
Okay, rise, turn, face to the east. Okay.
We'll start off with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Wadash.
Wadash.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakaka.
Taba'ah.
Tazayaka. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.H.A.K. Baratazah. Kawah. Shemayah. Thundernawa. Come. Cow. Yawam. Masalatnawa. Kawabatinawa. Masalatnawa. Kawabatinawa. Wala'ah. Ayanawa. Walasai one. War. Shayanawa. Mayan. Rye. Kayak. Lakak. Malakwith. Wa'ala. Wa'aparth. Wa'alalemium. Amen.
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power. Yahweh by Shem.
Yahweh Shem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Baba Kashah.
Baba Kashah.
Thundernawa. Kak. Larapah. Kamaka'ala. Kamarawa. Kak. Latahar. Hamatazari. Kak. Lahakwium. Salakia. Hamathium. Hakak. Awakawak. Hatama'ala. Rashan. Bashim Yahushua.
In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out in the name. Of Yahweh Shah. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Ashah. Ayanya. Aharayam. Mayan. Yaba'ah. Azariah. Ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'aratazah. Ayathan. Amawat. Agalba. Al-Yanawam. Shamarka. Anah. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yashan. Shamawar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamka. Kawa. Tazalka. Yad. Yanyaka. Yawamam. Bashamash. La'akaka. Wayarak. Wala'ila. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Akarai. Yashamor. Aknapashka. Yahweh. Yashamor. La'afka. Awa'aka. Ma'ai. Walalayam.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore.
The blessings. Rakatha Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Shah. Maka'ala. Alamya. Matas Bayah. Alawak Yahanna. Alawapya,
Alawakim,
Asaranya,
Awasakra,
Akwatasayomya,
Wakwatsiyona,
Akatalayonya,
Akwakiyona,
Wakwatya,
Wawakwa,
Yahawa, by Shimi Habashai,
Shimi Awashai, Waraman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
bless you, Yahweh,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Yahawashi,
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commander General Yahanna.
Commander Yahanna.
The generals.
the general,
The captain.
captain,
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
Troopers.
And the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
in the name of Yahawashi.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. The Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahaya,
Alahaya.
Al-Damakala,
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash,
Al-Takarash.
Al-Atashquat,
Al-Watch.
Al,
Al.
Kayahana,
Kayana.
Wabika,
Wabika.
Yahama Yawan,
Yahamu Yawan.
Ra'ash,
La'ash.
Al-Amakah,
Al-Lamakah.
Slakia, Ya'aramwa,
Ya'aramwa.
Sabadah,
Sabadah.
Wayawa,
Wayawa.
Ya'aitazawa,
Al-Tazawa.
Al-Tazapamuka,
Al-Tazapamuka.
Amawa,
Abuwa.
Lakawa,
Lakawa.
Kakidum,
Nukakidum.
Magawaya,
Wamiyumya.
Al-Azakar,
Al-Azakar.
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasha'ala.
Awada,
Awada.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Wataza,
Awatza.
Ba,
Baba.
Yakadwa,
Yakabwa.
Yakad,
Ayaka.
Bayarath,
Bayara.
Yakarathwa,
Yakarafu.
Alaya,
Alaya.
Alawam,
Alawam.
Bayashimai,
Bayashama.
Alahayam,
Alahayam.
Abba,
Abu Abu.
Bagarium,
Hagarium.
Gabal,
Gabal.
Mawan,
Mawaman.
Malak,
Mawlak.
Alashak,
Kalashak.
Anishabya,
I'm a champion.
that's a war,
That's a war.
Yam Asher war,
God must war.
Alawa,
Walawa.
Imam,
Imam.
Ayawa,
Ayawa.
Zarwai,
Zarwa.
Bayalawat,
Bayan Alawat.
Salah,
Salah.
Ashalaham,
Ashalaham.
Madian,
Amadya.
Kasaya Slaki, Kasaya Sarah,
Kasayasara.
Kayabyan,
Kayabyan.
Banakar,
Manakar.
Washwan,
Washma.
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa.
Bayan Dayara,
Mayan Darwa.
Ayawa,
Maywa.
Malan,
Malan.
Ladama,
Layarma.
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamba.
Nara Yabukwa Slaki, Nara,
Nara.
Yabmawa,
Yadmawa.
Kara Slaki, Karaba,
Karaba.
Kazaaba,
Kazaaba.
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak.
Wakazatazak, Mana'ai,
Mana'ai.
Kana Samuka,
Kana Nasamuka.
Ashar,
Ashar.
Amara,
Amawa.
Nairashah,
Nayarasha.
Nawa,
Nanawa. Ah.
Nawa,
Nawa.
Alahaya,
Alahaya.
Alahaya,
Mayana.
Shayatamba,
Shayatamba.
Gabala,
The Gabula.
Quash,
Quash.
Panya Baka,
Hayapa.
Ash,
Wayash.
Labia Ira,
Dabi Ari. Ari.
Wakalaba,
Wayatullah.
Dalaat,
Dalaat.
Arayam,
Mayan.
Khan,
Kan.
Thoradatma,
Daya Dakma.
Basa Arika,
Lasa
Basa
Araka.
Abba,
Asa Abba.
Mahatka,
Mahatma.
Labahalam,
Nabalahala.
Dalaat,
Wala'a.
Panyaham,
Nalukan.
Palawan,
Walawan.
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayapakwashwa.
Ka,
Ka.
Yahawa,
Yahaw.
Yabaslaki, Yabashwa,
Yabashwa.
Wayabalawa,
Wayabalawa.
Wayai,
Dabu'ai.
Wayapaparwa,
Wayapara.
Wayabadwa,
Wayababa.
Wayadayawa,
Wayabarawa.
Ayathat,
Ayawasha.
Shimka,
Shimka.
Yahawa,
Yahawa.
Wabaka,
Wabaka.
Alawan,
Ayalawan.
Karatazak.
Karas. In the English, keep not thou silence,
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still,
be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
enemy makes a trouble,
and they that hate thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
lift up the head.
They have taken crafty
They
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name of Yasha'Allah
The name of Yahshua
may be no more in remembrance.
is no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against
the
the
tabernacles of Edom,
tabernacles of Edom
and the
and
Ishmaelites
the Israelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Baal,
and Ammon, and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also has joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They
Lot.
hope of the children of Lot.
Salah, do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to
at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Orel and like Zahel. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah and as Zamuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh, my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth for wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill thy faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. So, be seated. Salaki, we left off from previous Sabbath service at Genesis chapter 2 and verse 21. Okay.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 21 in Hebrew. YAHANNA, Yahweh, Alahayam, Aradatma, Il, Aram, Wayashayim, Wakwath, Akath, Matazah, La'ithawa, Wayasagar, Bashar, Thaka, Thanawa, 22, Wayaban, Yahweh, Al-Hayam, Alahayam, Ath, Tazalai, Ashar, Laquath, Man, Adam, Slakia, Adam, La Shah, Waba'a, Al, Adam, Wayamar, Ahadam, Za'ath, Apa'im, Tazam, Matazamwa, Wabashar, Mabashayah, Slakia, Latazath, Yakwash Ra, Asha'ah, Kaya, Ma'ayash, Lapoka, Za'ath, Il, Khan, Ya'azahab, Ashar, Slakia, Ayash, Ath, Abba Yahweh, Wa'ath, Amawa, Wada Bakwa, Ba'ashimwa, Yayawa, Labashar, Akara, 25. Wayaha Yawa, Shan Slaki, Shan Yaham, Ira Wam Yawam, Ayaram Yawam, Adam, Wa Shamwa, Wala Yath Kashashar, Slaki, Yath Bashashar, Slaki. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1.
Right.
We're going all the way down to, I think it's 3.
3.
Okay. Wa'anatsha, Wa'anach, Ahaya, Arawam, Makal, Kayath, Asherah, Ashar, Aisha'ah, Yahweh, Alahayam, Waya Amwar, Wayamar, Al, Aisha, Kaya, Ashar, Alahayam, La'ah, Ahakalawa, Makal, Aitazah, Hagaran, Wa'athmayah, Slaki, Wathamar, Aisha, Al, Anakash, Maparaya, Aitazah, Agan, Kabal, yeah. Oh, Na'akal, Naparaya, Aitazah, Ashar, Bathwad, Agan, Ashar, Alahayam, Al, Thakan, Mamanawa, Wala'a, Thagara, Bawa, Pan, Tamawan. In the English, we'll go back to, who was it, 22?
21.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 21. And the Lord, and the Most High caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. 22. And the rib which the Most High had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man.
Right. So we always get in Christianity. First of all, this story right here, Christians love to say that they were the first man and woman. But
Right.
we already dispelled that myth from the previous Sabbath. but it's saying that Adam was given a wife that was of his people, right? So once the Lord separated Adam from everybody, the Lord gave somebody that understood him, just like Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women understand Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men.
That's right.
Right? That's why when brothers and sisters, you go with them other nations, guess what? You surprised when your husband finally called you the N-word if you a sister and you got a Caucasian husband.
Right.
Right? Because they don't understand you, right? They don't understand what makes you tick. And Adam called this rib that the Lord gave him, right? Same thing with you. If you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, the Lord gave you a man and a woman that is of your flesh and is your people, plain and simple. Salaki.
That's right, sir. Too, and it said it caused a deep sleep to fall over Adam. That's not what Christians believe. Oh, God created the first surgery right here. It's not what that's saying, man.
Right.
It just means that Adam was unaware what he was doing when he took Eve to be his wife.
Right.
Which comes from the side of the family. That's where he said, flesh, my flesh, and bone of my bone.
And how do you get married? That which comes from what? Sleep. Is how the scripture says it.
The pleasure.
Right. The pleasure that comes from sleep. Right.
Sex is marriage, according to the Bible.
Sex is marriage. And he got a rib after that. You understand me? Salaki.
That's right, brother. I'll read verse 22. And the rib which the Most High had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. Verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. In verse 24, that also proves that Adam and Eve had a mother and a father. Right. Although the Bible does not mention the mother's name or the father's name, but right here in 24, it says, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife. What the hell does Adam and Eve know about a mother and a father? Right. If there was only two people on the face of the earth? That's right. That's a cut to all you stinking, disgusting Christians, man. Right.
And what's also heavy about that is Salaki, I done missed my point. But you said they have a mother and father. It was evident, right? However, the Lord wasn't concerned with nobody unless they were what? Chosen. That's right. So Adam chose, the Most High chose Adam. And guess what? This woman that the Lord chose for Adam, right? They were his people that he acknowledged. That's why Adam's or these mothers and fathers weren't mentioned. Because the Lord wasn't dealing with them.
That's right.
Salaki.
You can throw that out. Water, brother. Verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Verse 1. Book of Genesis chapter.
Salaki, that nakedness, right? The idea of what we consider naked, right, is one of being vulnerable, right? And you'll see later when they start talking about the protection that the Lord put over them, right? Right. So when you get caught out and you're not in the know, right? You kind of feel that's what they say. If you come to a situation and you ain't got no gun, what they say, you butt naked, right? You ain't got no protection. So this people that the Most High chose, they were comfortable being vulnerable because they had protection from the Lord. That's right. Salaki. That's right. Kind of how you can understand is imagine you sitting down for the national anthem while the whole damn arena stands up. You naked and not ashamed. You don't give a John Brown about what's going on around you. That's right. You know the Most High is with you, man. You understand? Being naked is not ashamed is a good thing. It's not booty ball naked, running around in the forest like some damn hedonist village that Esau attends. That's not what this means, man. You understand? It's like the book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Most High had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, have God said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? This is another thing that I always was taught in Christian church, that this actually was a snake on his belly talking to a woman. Right. Right. But however, it's saying that this person that this is a person that's being described here. And this person was asking the question. Like, I know y'all, I see y'all over here, y'all real comfortable. You right? But did the Most High tell you shouldn't eat of this tree? Right, you should you not so basically this person is asking, I know the Lord told y'all supposed to be separate, but don't you want to know about everybody else? It's kind of this is the questions that he asking. Don't y'all want to know about everybody else? Don't you want knowledge? Right? I know y'all separate. See, this is the heathen always does this, but this heathen is subtle. And you can find these attributes on the oppressor today, right? When you start to be separate, they start telling you, you're American. You're supposed to care about this country, right? That idea that you're supposed to care about everybody else, or God loves everybody, is the concept all heathens want you to join in. And it's been like this since Adam and Eve, right? The Lord separates you. They want you to be involved with them, right? Salakia.
That's a heavy point. You understand what I'm saying? And that also goes to show that, it says the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Christianity, they believe that's a real snake. I know Seventh-day Adventists take it a step up, Shami. They put hot sauce on the scripture. They take another notch. They take it a whole nother notch in the SDA church and say, Ellen White, which is a devil, who, get out of here. Like the Most High speaking to any devil, says that this serpent, which is a snake, actually talked. Had a full-blown conversation about the Most High power, and he also had wings, and he was flying around, and they add all this. You'd be surprised what the hell you hear outside of the I.S.U.P.K under Commander YAHANNA, man. It's a bunch of crap.
I had Salakia, when I was in the world and I was young man. I said, well, why would the Lord let a snake talk to a person? Oh, the Lord can do everything. But then I started reading the scriptures. I started reading the scriptures today. It's Christians that don't believe that the Lord has a chosen people. If you have that much idea that the Lord can make a snake talk to a human being,
right,
then you should understand that the Lord can choose a people and only deal with them.
That's right.
But you know what I'm saying? But Christianity, they have their doctrine has to make sense in some kind of way to them, even though it makes no sense to us.
Right, exactly. And that's so heavy. I done heard every all from the parrots can talk. What about the donkey? The Bible says the Lord opened the mouth of the ass. Where do you see where the Lord opened the mouth of the serpent? You don't say that. It was not assumed. You understand? So I'll keep on. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
So this woman was, having a conversation with this subtile beast, this person, right? And she was explaining the rules. Like, yeah, we can eat everything that's in this garden, or we can everything that's in this garden. That's what the Lord wants us to know. However, all these other things, the knowledge of other people, all these other what these heathens are doing, the Lord told us we are not. Right?
And you're right. And I heard Christians also say, see, the feminist Christian woman, Adam left her. She women she didn't know. She just said it out her own mouth. That means Adam told her she wasn't supposed to, she knew the rules and she chose to do otherwise.
And Salakia, the other part that's heavy is she said she knew the rules so well that she knew that if she went and messed with other people, what was the consequence?
That's right.
That they was gonna die.
That's right.
No, all the other heathens, all these other nations, all they bring to us is death. You understand? And that's what's heavy. We wouldn't know rape and child molestation if we weren't dealing with other people. Because guess what? We have rules, we have law, statutes, and commandments to tell us how to deal with when that type of evil comes amongst us. But when we join with other people, you have to watch your murderer walk around free. You have to watch your rapist walk around free. You have to watch the person that molested you in church walk around free.
Right.
And you want to die. You understand?
Good night. That's so heavy. We'll continue on in the Hebrew. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 4. YAHANNA Anakash Al Ashar. It's like Aisha La'a Mawath Thoma Thayawan Kaya Yada I Alahayam Kaya Bayawam Akalakam, Mama Nawa, Mana Apostle, Wana Pakwath, Yuwa, Anayakam, Wayatham, oh yeah, Lahayam, Yada Ayo, Yad Ya'ai, it's like a Yad Ayah, Tawab, I, verse 6, Yath, Slakia, Wathra, Asha'ah, Kaya, Tawab, Aitazah, Lama Ko, Wakaya, Thawa, Slakia, Awa'a, La'aya, Nayawam, Wanathma, Wana command. Aitazah, La Sham Kawar, Slakia, Wathka, Wapadawa, Wathakal, Wath Thawan, Gam, La Sha'ah, Ama'ah, Wayakal, Wathpakwa, Noah, Ayanawa, Shanawam, Shakia, Shan Yaham, Wayada Ion, Kaya, Ayaram, Slakia, Ayaramsa, Ayaram, An, Wathparan, Allah, Ahana, Wayashan, Laham, Thagarath, Wayashamya, Ath, Kwalawa, Slaki, Yahweh, Alahayam, Mathadah, Bagar, Bagan, Larawath, Hayawam, Wayathba, Adam, Arashthwa, Panawa, Yahweh, Alahayam, Bathwad, Aitazah, Agan, Wakra, Yahweh, Alahayim, Al, the Adam, Waya Ma Slaki, Wamara, Lawa, Ayaka, Wayamawar, Ath, Qualawan, Shemai, Thaya, Bagan, Wayara, Kaya, Hayaram, Anakaya, Slakia, Wa'athka, Wabathka, Wa'ath, Slakia, Wa'akad, Wa'ban, Slakia, Wa'akad, the book of Genesis, chapter 3. That's right. Book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 11. Slakia. 3 verse, we stop at 4. Verse 4 in the English. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Verse 5. For the Most High doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
I remember the general saying that that if you tell a woman she gonna be God, she gonna be all ears now.
That's right.
Right, and this is essentially what he was saying. He was using this this idea of knowing is power, right? To have all this understanding of all these other people gives you power. It's basically how he tried to package it. And she fell for it, right? Not being obedient, right? Doing thus saith the Lord. The idea of being powerful and having understanding was what appealed to her.
That's so heavy you say that too, because the origins of you think calling a black woman God or the black woman wanting to be God is a new thing. Brother, we're reading in Genesis how old it is. Right. It's not a new thing, man. And it's wicked as hell. It's coming from the mouth of a devil. You understand? Verse 5 again. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So if you pay attention, it says, and the tree was good for food. So I remember Officer Howard said, "What we giving you food for thought?"
That's right.
So this idea of food wasn't necessarily she took something and ate it. It was basically she ate she took on this knowledge, right? Fed her brain, and guess what? When she learned this, guess what she did? She went and turned and showed her husband Adam, right, gave him some knowledge about what she found out when she should have been separate, like the Lord said.
That's right. And it was heavy is that, you also know that the book of Genesis is written in a metaphorical sense. It's how Black and Hispanics, Native American Indians, we understand like that. We wrote these records. So-called devil takes things literally. You know what I'm saying? When you tell a devil, I'm hot, he really think, we turn the air on? No, I'm mad. He don't understand how we talk. Like he said, it also says, you could tell this was not a literal fruit. You got the Apple computer. Every picture you see of two devils running around butt naked eating an apple with a snake wrapped around a tree. That imagery is to keep you lost forever. That's not what happened. This is a metaphor. Like my brother just said, if it was a literal fruit, what fruit makes you wise? It also, I'll read it again. And that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise. What kind of fruit you ate last time you went to the store? You were looking for a wise fruit. Right. I ain't never did that. I looked for a juicy old apple. Not nothing to make me wise. So it's not talking about a literal, quince or pine. I done heard all kind of garbage about what this fruit was. But we know in I.S.U.P.K. that you're talking about the constellations, but that's a whole nother class. talking about the constellations. You understand what I'm saying? That's what the fruit of. Like, you ever heard a book called A Reader's Digest? Why is it called Reader's Digest? Because you're digesting what you're reading. It's a metaphor. It's how we talk. You understand? So no, this was not a literal fruit. You understand that Adam and Eve ate, just like the snake wasn't a literal snake. Now you start to see where we're going with this. All right. Any more on that, brother? Want to keep going? Con. And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Most High walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. Well, reach verse 9. And verse 9. And the Most High called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? Verse 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked and I hid myself.
Good night. So the whole time before they start learning about danger, or they start learning before they learned about what danger was and things like that, where they had to hide, they wasn't afraid of the Most High, was they? Right. They did thus saith the Lord. All these things that were being shown to them, that it was no fear. The Lord was giving it to them, and they was receiving it, right? However, after they start talking to heathens, they start knowing what danger was.
Right.
They start understanding, right, the things that can kill them, right, or believing what can kill them.
Right.
However, the Lord is going to ask them a question in a minute.
That's right, brother. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 11 in the Hebrew. It's like it. Wayamor, Maya, Ayagat, Agadia, Lana, Kaya, Ayaram, Atha, Aman, Ayataza, Ashar, Taza, Taza, Wayathyan, Labalathia, Akal, Mamanawa, Abalath. 12. Wa Ayamar, Adawan, Shah, Ashar, Natha, Aima Daya, Awa'a, Nathna, Laya, Mawan, Man, Ayataza, Waqal, 13. Wayamar, Yahweh, Alahayam, La Asha, Ma'ah, Tazath, I-Shayath, Wathamar, Asha'ah, Anatasha, Ashinawa, Naya, Waqal, Wayamar, Yahweh, Alahayam, Al, Danashah, Danakash, no, it's like it. Ashath, Kaya, Ashayath, Za'ath, Wayar, Atha, Makal, Ab Hama, Wamakal, Kayath, Ash, Da, Al, Ga, Kakana, Talana, so it's like a Thalad, Zapar, Thakal, Kal, Yum Yum, Kayana. That's where I'm going to 16, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. Verse 15. Yaba, Ashayath. Oops, sorry. You see that? I'm on 16. Did I skip one? Oh, Slocky 15. Slocky, brother. Make sure I can follow through with this. Make sure I'm on the right through 15. All right. It's like Bayana. Wabayana. Aisha. Wabayan. Zara'id. Slocky. Wabayan. Zara'ai. Awa. Yashurapan. Ra'ash. Wata. No. Dashawap Nawa. Aquab. 16. Al. Asha'a. Ashar. Arba. Arba'a. Atazab Wanad. Rabba. Atazab. Thaladaya. Bakayam. Wa'al. Ayashed. Ayashad. The Shah Wakwa Slaki. Tashawa Kwa Kuthad. Wawa. Yamasha. Bara. Verse 17. Verse 17, right? This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 12. We did, right? We stopped at 17. Did I read 17? Okay, Slakia. We stopped at 17. Slakia. While Adam, Amar, Kaya, Jemaith, Lokwalan, Ashatad, Wathakal, Man, Aitazah, Ashar, Tazawa Yathan, La Mawar, La the call, Wamanan, Wamanawa, Arawara, Adama, But I will but Atazaba Yawan. The Kalanawa. Cow. Yamaya. Kayada. All right, let me go back up to 11. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 11. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree there wherefore I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
So let's take the analogy we first gave, right, when we first started this. If you out somewhere and you don't have your firearm and you're amongst people that have firearms, you say, what? I feel naked.
That's right.
Right? So guess what? He was hiding because he heard the voice of the Lord. He was fearful of it, right? Because it was probably, I don't want to say probably. Now he understands what fear is, things that are in danger. But he was in a holy place where he didn't have to kill. There was no things, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have to defend himself.
Right.
So now the Lord understood something. If you hiding, how you know you was in danger? Right? Who told you was naked?
Right.
How you know that you weaponless? How do you know this? Right? Because before you was out here walking freely, you had no thoughts of being harmed. But now all of a sudden you hiding now.
Right.
Don't see our people. We were told something and we believe that they walk around here with fig leaves over their private parts. That's not what it's talking about. All of a sudden now they know what danger is. Before they was walking freely, they didn't have to worry about heathens coming to kill them.
Right.
Now all of a sudden the Lord knows something now. Like how you know this? No, how you know that that now you vulnerable and you can be hurt? How you know this?
Right.
Salaki.
That's so heavy, right? You're right about that, brother. Verse 12, the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 12. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Good night. Adam's
So
was heavy about that. He said, the woman you gave me. Look,
Right.
see? Look, she over here telling me stuff, man. You gave me this woman, right?
Verse 13. And the Most High said unto the woman, what is this thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Verse 14. And the Lord and the Most High said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
So I made sure I asked this question to General Muhammad right here. And this person, this individual is not the serpent where everybody, a serpent walks around on his belly, right? That's true. But what this is talking about is this is a person that's a low down, dirty dog, right? From this point on, a person that does things like this, they have to live a life where they got to be a low life, a low life person, right? Their whole life is to scheme and plot against people and steal, right? To live like basically a low life. We say it. Oh, he's a low life. Somebody that's always up to some schemes or whatever. Everybody knows this, right?
Say,
but
he's a snake.
He's a snake. Everybody even say, right? That's what you call him, a snake. And this is what the Lord is saying about the individual that behaves like this. For this reason, when you do people like this, you try to always be 3/4 slick. You always got some scheme. You'll be a low life in the earth, right? You'll be below the damn cattle, is what the Lord is saying.
That's right. Verse 14. And the Most High said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Verse 15. Oh, and another thing, you can tell this is a so-called oppressor, who we call the devil. Everything he does is sneaky. Look at a no-knock warrant. He just a low-life snake coming in there, you unannounced, and just blowing your head off. You know what I'm saying? Like, just everything he does is crack cocaine in the CIA, just sneaking into your neighborhoods. No, we don't have no planes and ships. You got a train cart full of weapons. He just drop off in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? He's just a sneaky, slow-life bastard, man. You understand? Like, that's the metaphorical sense. This is describing to you the spirit of the devil. Right here in the Bible, the very first book of the Bible, man.
And what's heavy about what you're saying is think about everything that just in modern history with Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The oppressor came to us all and said, "What? You need money?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all want you want a better life? Because that's what our ideas are, is to get bread so that we can feed our family, right? To do better for ourselves, because they won't hire you to be at their slave.
Right.
However, what they'll give you, the Iran Contra scandal.
Conflict. That's
right.
Mm-hmm.
They'll make our brothers in the South America the plug, right? Fund war so brothers and sisters can kill each other. Right. And then in turn, when that dope is finally made, is transported over to your brothers and sisters in America, right? For them to peddle, and then they throw you away with the war on drugs. Right, that's something that a snake does, right? That's somebody that is a low-life dog, right? He don't want to, like Officer Koala saying, a no-knock warrant is for a coward.
Right.
He can't come and apprehend you like a man. He has to do it and creep on you.
Right.
You understand me? That's the way that they do warfare. Mm-hmm. They hand you something like a blanket and they got smallpox on it. Right. Never a straight up fade. Right.
Never.
They never want to give you a fair one. It's always something. And then they get the greater number down, the greater number of warriors down with their slickness, and then they can have the women and children.
Right. Just like they did our so-called Native American Indian brothers with these reservations, who, you Christians are so disgusting. You get mad when we say that Native American Indians are our brothers, and we bring up oppression and the curses. And here, the first thing out your mouth, Christian coon mouth. Well, they got casinos and reservations. Have you been to any reservation? Brother, it's not the best part of the land. It's not. You go to middle America, drive through Wisconsin, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota. You see all these reservations. It ain't the best part of the land. The best part is where Esau doing agriculture, where you drive through. The nice waters and mountains, they give them some old, maybe a stream. Right. And all that belong to them. And only a snake would do that, man.
Right. And what's heavy about what you're saying is they didn't establish cities. The Native Indians already had cities here. That's why you have Chicago, Illinois. It's on the water for a reason.
Right.
That's why you have New York and Boston. That's why you have all these places that are sitting on water.
Right.
That's how human beings have to thrive. You need water. You understand? Mm-hmm. Here it is. They put you on a reservation, secluded, and you might have a brook going through there. Maybe. Right. You understand me? Meanwhile, Esau took the capital cities or whatever that was already established. All they did was go to war, knock them down, and put their buildings up.
Right. Yeah, right, brother. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee, the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise the head, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And basically what this is saying is, you can look at it now in the metaphorical sense, what it's talking about. Enmity is like strife, going against, man. And what it says is here, the Most High said, I'm going to put enmity between thee and the woman. We see that every day. We see that every day through Planned Parenthood. Get off my baby. The police done shot my baby again. Michael Brown's mother screaming and crying after some devil shot and left his body in the street for 4 hours, uncovered. See, the enmity is deep, man. You understand what I'm saying? But in that process, and another thing, this doesn't mean a woman has seed. Don't give me no crap about no Bartholin gland. Right. We speak, like I said before, we speak in metaphors, man. Seed is child, man. You ever go to New York or someplace even here, man, that's my seed, man. That's my son, man. You know, so that's how we talk, man. It's talking about his children and her children, man. We be in constant conflict with each other, man. That's what it's saying.
Right. And Salakia, and this low life, he uses tools to destroy your children, right? Guess what? Like we said before, the blankets with smallpox. So guess what? You want welfare? You got to get rid of them fathers.
Right.
Right? That's how you destroy a seed. That's how you create enmity right there. Mm-hmm. Right? But it's packaged as something good. I'm coming to give you some help. Right? All you got to do, you want this assistance? The same thing with this knowledge. You want some assistance? Guess what? You got to do something for me though, right? And I'm going to destroy your children in the process.
That's right.
Your seed.
And it's like, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. That's what happens. Think of the metaphor of you trying to stomp on a snake, a serpent. At the same time, You get your head getting bruised and the heel, the serpent's gonna bite. See, this whole Genesis is a metaphor, man. I don't understand. That's why I understood when you start reading this Bible and digging into these records, how you can think so literal. They don't even understand context of what we're talking about. But like Jeremiah Muhammad always said, context is where the Holy Spirit lies. And because you Christians do not have the Holy Spirit, you could never understand Genesis, man. You could never understand. You need to come into I.S.U.P.K under Commander YAHANNA and stop being so damn proud, man. Because you don't have much time left. You understand? I'm gonna keep on reading. We'll be here all day talking about these filthy, disgusting pastors, man. Good night. Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That's that powerful.
Right. Just think about this, sisters. And that's why we always tell you sex is marriage.
That's right.
And it's solidified in the earth, right? And I always say for every sister that always, that might have multiple husbands, you got 2, 3 baby daddies, guess what? That very first man that you gave yourself to, you always think about him. Mm-hmm. You never stop thinking about this man, even though you done got husbands after. Because guess what? The idea of how this was supposed to be is that you're supposed to desire your husband for your whole entire life.
That's right.
Unless he was put to death, and then you got the opportunity to move on.
That's right, brother. And so heavy too that it says, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. Man, if they ain't talking about us, I don't know who it's talking about, man. First thing sister do when she get pregnant, she thinking about, should I have it or not? That shouldn't even be a thought, man. But she thinks that because we're so damn poor and destroyed, man, for that thought even coming to that sister's head or that brother's head, what we gonna do? And it's ridiculous, man, thinking about the oppression, thinking about daycare prices that the devil set up, man. You gotta pay damn near a car note for somebody to watch your damn children because you gotta go slave. They just give you just enough to make it, to come back next week. You think about all these things in sorrow, man, when you bring forth children. This Bible is real, man. You read it out of the record book in Genesis. You understand?
And what's heavy is all this started from what?
That's right.
Messing with the other nations.
Damn right.
Before it was no sorrow,
right.
Nothing. It was no sorrow or no thoughts about having your children. You just had them, right? And you raised them. However, as soon as you start dealing with heathens, and you get knowledge of how evil they are and what they are capable of doing. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if I want to have kids. I don't want to bring them in this old filthy, disgusting place. Right. I don't want my son getting pulled over and his brains blew out. Man, right. I don't want that. Right. That sorrow is in your mind all the time.
That's right. And you're right. And it makes it so heavy too that, and it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That desire that Eve had was not towards Adam originally. It was for her damn self, man. Eve was selfish, just like our woman today. That's why we say the word naive, because you're a nigh unto Eve, which means close, man. We got to do a better job as blacks, Hispanic, neighboring Indians, man, and obey the word of the Lord. This sister Eve was being selfish when she made that decision to hearken to the voice of a damn low-life devil. And it was a man that did that. It was not a serpent. It was a man that had a full-blown conversation with her and convinced her that she was going to be what? Like a god. And she listened to that because she was selfish. So the Lord said, man, listen, your desire is going to be to your husband. Who was Eve's desire for until then? Herself. That proves that women battle being damn selfish right here in the Genesis, Shamyar. I mean, we don't have to look no further to know. You ain't got to go to the New Age section in Barnes & Nobles to try to find out the origin of your life. Come right here to this Bible, man. This record book is real. You understand? I'm going to keep reading. Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Good night. Think about that next time you clock in to work. You understand? Think about how it could be. Oh, life could be so simple.
Right. And what's heavy about that, he said, because you listen to this woman instead of listening to me.
Good night.
Right. Everything. When you do this thing, when you listen to your woman, guess what you'll do? Just imagine all the things that brothers have done because they was chasing after they woman.
Hold on, Shabbat. Let me read it again. Yeah. I don't think you break verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of the wife. Good night. and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Good night, brother.
Think about all the things you do because you want to make your wife happy.
Mm.
And then think about in the end if you was happy of the end result. You understand? Just think about that. Think real heavy, right? You wanted to join that Christian church, and then you have your children in there, and then some child molester molested your child. You have to eat of the fruit that you chose,
That's
right?
right.
So guess what? Them things that come from you listening to your wife, or you going against the Most High Power, you got to deal with it.
Yeah, I'm right.
You got to eat of that thereof. That's what the Lord is saying. You got to accept it.
Good.
That's what all us men have to do. If you reject the Lord, you got to deal with the consequences.
That's so heavy, brother. We're gonna go to the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 18 in the Hebrew. Wakwa wa'ai. Wadawadar. Tatazar maya. Lana. Wakalath. Ath. I.S.H.A.P.K. Washada. What's lucky? Ashda. Baza'aith. Apayad. Afkar. Lakam. Aid. Shobad. Al. Adama'a. Slakia. Kaya. Mamana. Lakwakath. Kaya. Ipar. Atha. Wa'ala. Ipar. The Shawab. Wayakwa. Adam. Sham. Eshatwa. Kaya. Awa'a. Ayatha. Kal. Kaya. 21. Wya'ish. Yahweh. Alahayim. La'adam. La'ashathwa. Kathan Wath. Itazar. Slakia. Oh, my bad, brother. I can't see that on my phone. So the water. I war. Where am I? Hold on. I lost my place. Where am I at? Oh, yeah, 20. 23. Oh, man. Oh, Slakia. Oh, yeah, Slakia. Ayar. Basham. Wayamar. Yahweh. Alahayim. An. Adam. Ayah. Kakad. Mamanawa. Ladaith. Tawab. Waba'ai. Wa'aitha. Pan. Gashalah. Yadan. Walakwath. Gam. Ma'itazah. Akayam. Yaakov. Wakaya. YAHANNA, YAHANNA, Walashaya, Yahweh, Alahayim, Magan, Adawa, Laobad, Ath, Adamah, Ashar, Laquath, Slaki, Laquath, no, Slaki, Laquath, Masham, Wagarash, Ath, Adamah, Waishakan, Mukadam, Lagaran, Adawan, Ath, Akarabwan, Wa'ath, La'apa, Akarab, Amatha, Apagath, Lashamar, Ath, Daran, Itazah, Akayam. Verse that was 24. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 18 in English. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. Verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. Verse 20. Oh, there goes on verse 19. There goes that dust again, Sean. We talked about last week. Right. That dust where Christians believe, you got it. Christians believe that he just took man and just did all this here, like he on a potter's wheel, and whatever else came may be. When that dust is just talking about a low state.
So what's heavy is this was all because what you listened to your wife, right, and you didn't listen to me.
That's right.
So it's almost like the Most High is equating something here.
Right.
Like if you don't listen to me, you got any other thing that you have a power before me, you're gonna be like dust. This is what he's trying to explain to him.
That's right.
Just like I rose you out of dust and I gave you all this knowledge, but then you reject me. Guess what? You go back in the earth as dust.
That's right.
You go back into that low state again if you don't listen to me.
That's right. Verse 20. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living.
All living, right? She was the mother of those that had laws, statutes, and commandments. Because the scripture says, what? You in life if you have them.
That's right.
So guess what? He called her Eve for all those that were given the commandments of the Most High power. Not all that are living on the face of the earth.
That's right.
See, that's what Christianity always throws us off. That's why we don't never really grasp understanding of this part of the Bible.
Right.
And so guess what? This is the first book in the Bible.
All right.
So guess what? If you already confused from the jump, you're gonna be confused with the rest.
Right.
You damn sure ain't gonna understand Revelation now.
Right.
Good night.
Yeah, you're gonna skip right over Genesis and go right to Jacob's ladder and Ezekiel. Good night, brother. You can't do that. These Christian churches have people destroyed, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like you said, the mother of all living. If thou shalt enter into life, keep the commandments. If not, you just a walking dead. Verse 21. Unto Adam also and unto his wife did the Most High make coats of skins and clothe them. For 22. And the Most High power said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. That is heavy. You understand? Because we weren't supposed to know. See, it's one of these things where you have to come into I.S.U.P.K and understand what it's saying. That tree of the knowledge of good and evil it's God said, don't do this thing. It's the punishments that he didn't want us to know. He didn't want us to know that you get your butt toe up. He didn't want us to get that spanking. He didn't want us to know that, just like you tell your children, you see that socket on the wall, don't stick that pencil or that fork in there. You will hope they just listen to you. It's like the cartoons, they go do it, now they shock, they all in the hospital, electrocute their damn self because they didn't listen. The Most High God didn't want us to know that part. He didn't want us to know about the wicked, the things that can happen to you if you be disobedient. He just wants us to follow orders that we're supposed to do. The Most High God is not our mother, he's a father. He wants you to follow orders, man. Keep the commandments. Don't worry about the stuff. It's like your children. You understand what I'm saying? You will hope you never have to spank them. You will hope they don't see the size of the punishments. That's the knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Of good and evil. It's the judgment is what's going to happen if you disobey.
And what's heavy is when the Lord says is now they know. What he's saying is what? Now they understand how to take life, right? Mm-hmm. Now they understand warfare. Right. Now they understand. Now that you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And he gonna have to live with every action now. Now it's curses and punishment. Now if you take a man's life, guess what happens? Now you have to have some law established.
Right. That's right.
Right. You ain't gonna be able to behave like the heathen that have no law. They have no like the scripture said. They are low. They not us.
That's right.
They wasn't chosen. So guess what? They don't have rules and regulation. You understand why Trump said I could kill somebody in front of right here on camera and get away with it?
That's right.
Guess what? Because he's a filthy, stinking heathen.
Filthy heathen.
You understand? Salak.
And you're right, brother. Like I'm coming to I.S.U.P.K. We listen, man. Not only do the soldiers and officers, captains, generals here follow orders, we know that the Most High God is not playing. I don't need to know the science and the dichotomy and all this of a damn catfish. I know God said if it don't have fins and scales, I'm not gonna eat it. I don't want to know the punishments of that. I just follow. Don't do this. Don't do that. Imagine how life could have been, Shamar. We just would have not disobeyed.
That's what the Lord intended.
It would have been so beautiful. And we can get that back, man, and we keep these law, statutes, and commandments that come together. You understand? Verse 23. Therefore, the Most High sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. Verse 24. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
Good night. So guess what? Adam was raised up, right? And placed somewhere. Mm-hmm. Now Adam was what? Cast out of this place.
That's right.
You understand me? Because he let the woman what? Beguile him and be slicker than him instead of being obedient. Right?
Right.
He was basically, this was heavy too. The woman just had what? Some pain and some sorrow.
That's it. A little bit.
However, you as the man, you full of burdens from the Lord now. You understand me? Just think about what the Lord is saying. Now, everything that happens to you and your family is because of you. Right. That's what he's saying. Like now you taking back. Now you going back to the place that he was taken from, and now you got to till the ground.
Good night, brother.
So your burden as a man, your burden is heavy. Your woman just got sorrow.
That's it.
Right? She feels, meanwhile, everything that happens to your family is contingent on your behavior and your disobedience or obedience.
That's right.
That's why we tell brothers what? To get in the I.S.U.P.K.
Damn right.
Learn how to properly follow these law, statutes, and commandments, because you ain't learning in them fake Israelite groups. Shoot. They not doing Sabbath service right now, brother.
Nah. Smoking a blunt.
Right, and having and later on they might have what they call it, fellowship.
They might have fellowship laying up to some Hawaiian woman this morning, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. Only I.S.U.P.K. has the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Come into these Sabbath, come into these classes all week, man. Learn your records, man. Learn this Bible. Like my brother just said, man. This is the home of the truth. You understand? We in Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. Well, Adam. Yada I. Ath. Kawa. Slakia. Ashata. With the war. With the Lad. Ath. Quran. Quayan. Wathamar, Quanayathia, Ayash, Ath, Yahweh, Wathai, Slaki, Waspan, Waladath, Ath, Akiwa, Ath, Abal, Wayaaya, Abal, Iowa, Tazan, Wakwayan, Haya'ah, Ibar, Slaki, Ibad, Adamah, Wayaaya, Makwai, Yamayam, Wayaba, Kwayan, Payara, Slaki, Adamah, Mana'ah, Layalawa, 4, Wabal, Abaya, Gam, Aya'ah, Mabaka, Waiwa, Tazanawa, Ombakal, Ba'awan, Wayashai, Yahweh, Al, Abal, Wa'al, Malakathwa, Wa'al, Kwayan, Wa'al, Malakathwa, La'ah, Sha'aya, Shaya, Wa'akar, Lakoyan, Ma'ad, Wayapalawa, Panayawa, Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Kwayaran, Lama'ah, Kara, Lana, Malad, Slaki, Walama'ah, Lapalawa, what was that? Panayad, verse 7. Alahaya, Tayatiyab, Sha'ath, Wa'am, La'ah, Tayatab, Lapathawa, Lapathu, Slakia, Kata'ath, Rabba'i, Waladad, Thash, Wakwashta, Thwa, Watha, Slakia, Wathwa, Watha, Thamashar, Ban. The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain. And Cain, I have gotten, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Verse 4. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. Verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
So the Lord basically, like this is the explaining that they had the law, statutes, and commandments. For one, they was bringing what? An offering to the Most High Power.
Right.
And the Lord said he respected Abel's. He respected Abel and his offering.
Right.
So guess what? When Cain brought the offering, it probably but he didn't respect Cain the way he is, because he said something right here that if you doeth well, if you do us not well, sin lieth at the door.
Right.
And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So guess what? If you want to be a sinner, you know what I'm saying? I don't respect that.
Right.
So guess what? You can bring me all the offerings in the world, but I'm gonna reject you.
Right.
Because you're a sinner. But your brother, however, and that's what he was mad about, jealousy, right? He's doing good in the earth. The Lord accepting his offerings. Meanwhile, this one got rejected.
Right. And then he's gonna bring the first things of his crops, the damn salad to the Lord. You bring a corn and vegetables, and you understand? Like, what the hell was Cain thinking about? And Abel brought the fatlings. The firstlings? You bringing meat, man, burnt meat, blood, burnt sacrifice, offering. You come bringing some doggone kale and spinach and all that. Yeah, he brought his best of these things, man. Abel brought his best. That's why he was accepted. And Cain brought what? He brought whatever, and probably he didn't accept you either. So he didn't give them the nice corn. He probably brought the, you know what I'm saying?
Right, he was a sinner.
Yeah.
So what more,
he ain't following instructions.
What's the use in doing this? Kind of like Esau.
Right.
What's the use that I got an inheritance? Like no thought to the Most High is given.
Right.
I'm just going through the motions, whatever, man. However, his brother was wholeheartedly, 10 toes down with the Lord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then all the blessings that the Lord gave his brother, he was jealous about it.
That's right, man. Yeah, that goes to show. If I was sin lieth at the door, you jealous and your countenance falling open. You nigh into committing a crime, brother, or hating on your brother, or sinning. You understand what I'm saying? Just like it said, don't even think in your mind to lust on this woman, or actions coming right after it. You moping around and all. You didn't follow orders, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Sin's gonna lie at the door every time. You understand what I'm saying? It's best that we keep these law, statutes, commandments, man. You know what I'm saying? We learned this in this record book, the book of Genesis, about how important it is, man, to do what you're told to do. Give the Most High your best, man. You know what I'm saying? You filthy, disgusting sinner in the world, the biggest trap star. You learn these laws, and you learn this brotherhood and this sisterhood in here, man. You better come in here with that same amount of energy you had as a filthy sinner, man, and do what the Lord requires of us. You understand? Where we at? Okay, the book of Genesis, chapter 4 is the last one. Okay, chapter verse 8. Let's lock it. Chapter 4, verse 8. Wa'amar, Koyawan, Al, Ball, Akayan, Wayahaya, Bayawa, Slaki, Bayathum, Bashadah, Bayaquam, Slaki, you good, brother? Oh, Bayaquam, Kwayan, Al, Abal, Athayan, Waya'a, Raga, Wagaran, verse 9. Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Kwayan, Ayah, Abal, Akayad, Wayamor, La'ah, our Ithia, Ankaya, verse 10. Wayamor, Ma'ah, Ashayath, Slaki, Kowal, Damara, Akayad, Taza'ai Kwayam, Aliyah, Man, Dama, Slaki, Dama, verse 11. Waithwa, Arwa, Athka, Man, Adama, Adama'a, Slaki, Ishar, Patazath, Ath, Paya'ah, Wakwathka, Ath, Damaya, Akayad, Wayadan, verse 12. Kaya, Thayabar, Ath, Adama, La'ah, the Sa, what's that? Sa, Tha, Kaka, Lada, Na'ai, Wanad, Wanada, the Aya'a, Ba'arataza, 13. Wayamar, Kwayan, Al, Yahweh, got a wall. Awanaya, Manashah, verse 14. Awa, Garshath, I thought it's like Athia, Ayawam, Ma'ayah, Panaya, it's like Panya, Adama, it's like, yeah, Adama, Omapanayad, what's that? I thought Asatar, Wahaya Yathaya, Na'ai, Wanad, Slaki, Wanada, Barataza, Yahweh, Cow, Ma'aya, Mayawa, Slaki. What's it? Well, Yahagalia, Slaki. This is the book of 15. Book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted, and if thou does not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
So Salakia, not only, so this showed you that the previous verses where it said the Lord didn't respect his offering is because he didn't have respect for the Lord either.
That's right.
Because if you had respect for the Lord, you wouldn't have talked to him this way.
Right.
Well, first of all, you knew that you can't murder, and he murdered his own brother.
That's right.
And right, and after he murdered his brother, you knew the Lord was gonna know. Right, that's the whole purpose of a sacrifice, right? The blood, what it goes into the ground. That's if you go look at the rules as we continue to do Sabbath service, you'll see the blood is supposed to drain. So the Lord said, "Your brother's blood crieth unto me." Right, that's how the Lord knew that you killed him. Right, no matter what. And then he was insolent. He asked, "What? Am I his keeper?"
Right.
Being slick mouth.
Right.
So that goes to show the effort you give to the Lord is basically your attitude. Basically, it reflects your attitude.
That's right.
Right. If you willing to just go through the motions, guess what? You're gonna get up. You're gonna be very Christian with your idea of how the Most High is, because that's convenient for you.
That's right.
Because you're not really willing to do the work that's required. So you just want to get up on Sunday and go for go to church. Gossip and talk trash about people, right? Live that goes hand in hand, right? Meanwhile, you in that Christian church and you really believe that you in there really doing the work of the Lord, and you're not.
Right.
You understand me? Salaki.
That's right, brother. And Cain gonna say, am I my brother's keeper? It's like saying now, he in my back pocket? I don't know where he at. Like, you getting fresh mouth with the Most High. Right. That shows you the character of that Negro, man. To say such a thing, and we get off as Americans and Christians. We watch TV, and when Nino Brown killed G Money, and my brother's keeper, and then popped him. What does that really mean, though? You know what I'm saying? But in the I.S.U.P.K, you understand that that is not a good thing to say. Am I my brother's keeper? We don't say that in here. Right. We don't use that as no slogan, because we understand it came from a murderer. Cain's mouth said that to the Most High powers. We don't use that crap up in here, man. You understand what I'm saying? But let me keep reading. Verse Slakia. And verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Verse 11, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Verse 12, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Verse 13, and if I may, come on, man, fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. Who does that sound like today? Right. Who don't have no culture? Who's 35 years old and dance like a 2-year-old that can't hear rhythm? Right. Not our babies. Our babies come out the womb knowing how to do every little age TikTok dance. Right. A vagabond, he has no home or no culture, man. He has no place to call his own. He stole everything and got everything by the sword. So who do you think? What description of a person on the earth right now you think fits this beautiful poetic metaphor about being a vagabond? You understand what I'm saying? He has no damn place to call his own, man. You understand? Vagabond in the earth, Slakia. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. A fugitive, man. What is that? A fugitive from justice, right? Right. It means you did something wrong and now you just running about trying not to get caught. No, don't want the law to catch up with you. Who's that sound like, man? Right. Think about the Native American Indians. Think about the transatlantic slave trade. Think about crack cocaine. Who's the fugitive in this earth?
Think about the 1611 project.
Good night.
Right. Think about all the things that this individual does so that you don't bring up his crimes in the earth.
Right.
You understand me?
That's right, brother. Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me.
Good night. So guess what? why was he afraid of his punishment, right? Because he knew that once you labeled as a murderer, when you the law, statutes, commandments says what? You understand? However, this individual murdered his own brother and thought that he shouldn't get put to death.
Right.
That burden is too much to bear. You understand me? But the Lord wanted him to deal with the fact that he had this lingering over his head for his whole entire existence.
Right.
You understand me? Because the Lord gonna say something in the end, and this goes to show, right? There was other people that knew the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand me? And he knew it. That the punishment was you to be put to death for murder.
Right. That's
Salaki.
right, brother. That's right. Where we at? Verse 15 in Hebrew, right? Where we start from? Oh, Salaki. Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
So that's what I was saying right there. There's other people that was following these law, statutes, and commandments. They understood that blood required blood, right? He was a murderer. He's supposed to be put to death. However, the Lord said, nah, anybody that take vengeance on Cain, right? The punishment on you shall be sevenfold. So guess what? That was enough for them to understand. Okay, just leave him alone. And the Lord marked him. So the thing that was done in the earth, everybody shall know what it was that he was a murderer.
That's right. And that mark on Cain was leprosy, man. It was pale white as snow. Who do you think the description is that fit today, man? This old reddish pale man. You understand? That red, it stands for a stop sign.
Right.
It means stop. When you see him, you're going to want to kill him for all the violence and wickedness he's done. All the lynchings and crosses and burning your yard. You understand? But that red mark, that is when you see him, that red that shows forth through his skin, that means stop, man. The vengeance is the Lord's, not ours. You understand?
And what's heavy about that is these individuals were born that way. You understand? This Cain was marked later, but these individuals are born that way. So guess what? They was put in the earth to let you know what type of time it was with them.
That's right. That same the spirit of Cain. You understand what I'm saying? That spirit of Cain, man. You go on to murder when you see him, but you look at that skin, just think of a big old stop sign when you see that devil's walking around here. You're going to want to do something to him, but let the Lord handle it, man. It's be greater than what you could ever do. You understand? Verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. You understand? And that's another thing, you disgusting Christian pastors teaching our people that Adam and Eve was butt naked, the only two people in the Garden of Eden. How the hell can Adam and Eve be the only two people in the Garden of Eden on the face of the Slakia? The only two people on the face of the earth, Shamyar. That's what they really say. Every denomination. If Adam and Eve were the only two people on the face of the earth, where the hell did Cain go? He said he went to a what? It said in 16, and the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east. The land of Nod on the east of Eden.
Right.
And what he said, everybody says, anybody gonna find me, they're gonna want to kill me. Who the hell is looking for him if there's nobody else on the face of the earth?
Right.
See, all these questions start to unfold when you start really reading the Bible and listen to these priests and prophets of the Lord.
Come on, sir.
Okay.
All right. 17.
Okay, the Hebrew, right?
No,
okay. That's right. And verse 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. So
good night. So guess what? You listen to Christianity, right? Cain and Abel were what? The first two. Where does woman come from that Cain went and married? Right? That she bare a son named him Enoch. Right. Yeah. All of a sudden they messing with some the incest. Like that's what they trying to get you to say. Right, but guess what? There's only one people on the face of the earth that really be trying to deal with incest.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's plain and simple. Salakia.
That's why they love to go to that. It fits right their book. Just try to find incest in the Bible so they can do it. It's ridiculous, man. Oh, we at 18 and English. We still in. Okay. In the English, the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 18. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mahuya, and Yael begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives, and the name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other was Zillah. Verse 20. And Adah bare Jabal, and he was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah.
So it's just running down the lineage that came from Cain and his rib and Nod.
Right.
Okay, and this is where we stop. We're gonna get up and do these prayers, close out Sabbath service. Amadium. Sar, face the east. Oh, Salaki. Okay, Sar, face the east.
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
I.S.U.P.K,
I.S.U.P.K, I.S.U.P.K, in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out in the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Psalm 121. I.S.U.P.K,
I.S.U.P.K,
YAHANNA,
I.S.U.P.K, in the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
Which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yahshua
he that keepeth
shall
Yahshua
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy
The
right
sun
hand.
shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going
and thy
out
coming in,
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
This time forth
and even forevermore.
and forevermore.
Blessed is the Hebrew. Rakatha Yahweh.
Rakatha Yahweh.
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 Shalom Allah.
Shalom
Allah.
YAHANNA.
Sabbath Yah.
YAHANNA.
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 Allah.
Allah.
Israelite.
Israelite.
Yahweh.
YAHANNA. In the English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahweh Shai,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the
And the
angels,
angels.
Commander General Yahanna,
And
the
Yahweh.
generals,
General.
the captains,
Captain.
the officers,
Officers.
the troopers,
Troopers.
and the sisters,
And the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
And they come out.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you so be.
Psalm 83 to Hebrew. Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Adamakala.
Alahaya.
Lakarash.
Lakarash.
Tashakwat.
Wow. Wow.
Ayahana.
Ayahana.
Wabyaka.
Wabyaka.
Yahweh Yahweh Mayan.
Yahweh Mayan.
Ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Abaka.
Al-Abaka.
Al-Arbawa.
Al-Marwa.
Sabadah.
Sabadah.
Wayawa.
Wayawa.
Ayarataza.
Ayarataza.
Al-Tasapanga.
Al-Tasapanga.
Al-Barawa.
Al-Barawa.
Wawa. Kakida.
Wakakida.
Wakawa.
Al-Awwa.
I.S.U.P.K.
Al-Awwa.
Sham
Sham.
Sabadah.
Wadah.
Aya. Wataza.
Wataza.
Sabah.
Abba.
Kadra.
Wakad.
Al-Yaka.
Al-Yaka.
Ayarah.
Wa'arah.
Ayarah.
Al-Rah.
Alahaya.
Wa'ahaya.
Alawam.
Ayawam.
Wayashima.
Wa'yashima.
Alahaya.
Yahaya.
Abba.
Wa'awah.
Garian.
Garian.
Ball.
The ball.
Wa'amad.
Wa'amad.
Wa'malak.
Wa'amad.
Al-Shak.
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 As a war.
As a war.
Gam Ashawar.
That's war.
Alawah.
Alawah.
Alawam.
Wa'amad.
Ayawah.
Ayawah.
Sarawah.
Sarawah.
Wa'yalawah.
Wa'yalawah.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashallah Yaham.
Ashallah Yaham.
Madian.
Madian.
Yisayarah.
Yisayarah.
Madian.
Madian.
Manakal.
Manakal.
Washington.
Washington.
Shalim.
Shalim.
Mayanda Iraq.
Mayanda
Ayawah.
Ayawah.
Aman.
Aman.
Adamah.
Yamah.
Shayatamu.
Shayatamu.
Dara.
Yara.
Yabawa.
Yamawah.
Arabah.
Arabah.
Wakazaba.
Wa'yazabah.
Wakazabak.
Wa'yazabah.
Wakador Tazamak. Wakatazor.
Wa'yazabah.
I.
Wa'yazabah.
Kana Yasamu.
Kaya Yasamu.
Shah.
Ashar.
War.
The war.
Nair Shah.
Nair Shah.
Nawa.
Yahweh.
Nawa.
Yahweh.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamu.
Shayatamu.
Gauda.
Gauda.
Wash.
Yahuwah.
Fine rock. Fine rock.
Ra'ash.
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 Ira. Ira.
Ira.
Alabah.
Alabah.
Ala'at.
Ala'at.
Maryam.
Maryam.
Khan.
Khan.
Rapadna.
Ayapapa.
Basaraka.
Basaraka.
Wabasar.
Wabasar.
Wapaka.
Wapaka.
Halam.
Halam.
Ala'at.
Ra'ah.
Yaham.
Yaham.
Alawam.
Walawam.
Wayakwash.
Wayakwash.
Ka.
Yahah.
Yahawah.
Yahweh.
Yabashua.
Yabashua.
Wayabalwa.
Wa'yabalawa.
Wayai.
Wa'yai.
Wakawapara.
Arabah.
Wayadawa.
Wa'yadawa.
Wayadawa.
Wa'yadawa.
Wayatha.
Wa'yadawa.
Shemkat.
Shemkat.
Yahawah.
Yahweh.
Yahan.
Arise. In the English, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thou silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Lo,
thy enemies make a tumult,
thy enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they hate thee and lift up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
And take a crack counsel
against thy people,
against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
So against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
And I said,
come
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them
from
off.
being a nation,
Be a nation.
that the name of Yahshua
The name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
is no more remembered.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, and Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Salah. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zael. Yeah. All their princes of Azabah, and Azamuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh, my power. Make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fear their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth.